Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game, and it's West Ham United against the champions Manchester City. Myself and Gonzo are going to try and talk a good game, but this team, they've been playing a good game. Gonzo, what's your thoughts on Pep Guardiola and his sky blue side?
Majestic. They have raised the standards, I think, in the Premier League to a new level. I think everybody's had a bit of a shock, particularly one Jose Mourinho, who probably thought he could come in and do great things at Manchester United. I think Guardiola needed it because the accusation was always there that he inherited a very, very good Barcelona team. When he went into Bayern Munich, they just won the Champions League and the league and their treble, what they would consider to be their treble. And I think he needed to win it in another league. And whilst Man City are not paupers, let's be clear about that, they haven't actually forked out the 80 million sort of transfer fees that Man United have been forking out. And I don't think they're paying anyone as much as Sanchez does. So he's been successful. He's brought a brand of football. He has found a new position for Kevin De Bruyne, which played him a lot deeper than he used to. Certainly got the best out of Raheem Sterling as well. Sane, I mean, you know, Aguero was playing well anyway. They got Jesus, as everybody likes to call him, or I'd call him Jesus. And very, very, very good. Very good.
World-class football team, world-class players, and absolute genuine pleasure to watch Man City. This is one of the best football teams I've ever witnessed in the Premier League anyway. They're a joy to watch. You're right, Pep Guardiola had a lot of questions coming to England. I think he's answered a lot of his critics, but still some questions remain. He's now got to go one better next season. He's got to start competing in the Champions League. That's what Man City have always wanted. That's why Pellegrini, Mancini, they've got the sack because they've been unable to compete in the Champions League. That's Pep's question next year. Can you now do it on the big stage? We're seeing Liverpool do it, so can you do it? I think he'll answer it. I think that he's spent an excessive amount of money. I know you said, man, you spent more, but he spent over like 100 million on 3 fullbacks. But he had to. He's got to. If you want to build sort of England's version of Real Madrid, you're going to have to start forking out the big bucks, and that's what he's doing. He's got a blank checkbook, but it's working. He's delivering the success with that. But the players, they've got plenty Gonzo, plenty top players. But which one do you fear most? Aguero's out for the season, so you won't be facing him on Sunday. And there's still plenty of them left to pick from, though. But if you had to choose one, who would you choose?
If I had to choose one to play at West Ham?
Well, no, just who you... None of them's going to come here, but who do you fear most? Which one do you admire the most?
That's a fair point, actually. Well, I don't know. I reckon about 10 years' time when Vincent Kompany's sort of 46, I think we might have a chance of signing him. Aside from that, for them, I really like Sane. I think he's very good. He's got something about him. He's quite athletic as well as being decent. I like the little fella, Bernard Silva. He looks quite good. He's not in the team all the time. Every time I see him play, I think, oh, there's a very, very good footballer as well. It's obvious to say De Bruyne, so I'm just trying to think of something different. It's just a bloody good team. But they've got Mendy back, the fullback. And I think a lot of his ethos and a lot of his system was based on Walker and Mendy. And of course, Mendy got injured very early in the season, so he'll have a point to prove. But they're going to be in party mode to a certain extent, so I do believe there'll be one or two. They've got young lad Foden. I think his name might be Ben Foden. Is that right, Ben Foden? No, something Foden. Something anyway. Whatever it is, Mr. Foden, the young Foden. He might throw him in or something like that. Not enough to dilute their quality, but we might see a couple who we've not seen before.
Yeah, De Bruyne is the obvious one, but I don't care. Like, he is just unbelievable. He's the best player in the league. I know Salah deservedly won PFA Player of the Year, but I think De Bruyne has got better talent. I think De Bruyne is complete, if you like. Some of the passes he's done for, in a Man City shirt is just ridiculous. That touch he did, I think it was against Liverpool. It was coming down out the sky. He was facing the wrong way. He hit it with the outside of his boot and everything. Oh, it was just... I've not seen a pass like that in a long, long time. But the other player I'm going to pick out, and I think he's one of the most underrated players all time in Premier League, and that's David Silva. He's very much appreciated. I just don't think people appreciate how good he actually is, though. He's sort of changed his role in the last couple of seasons at Man City, or Pep Guardiola's done that. That's one thing he can get praised for. While he spends all the money, he's gone there. David Silva's already there, and he's gone, you know what, you're getting on a bit now. I'm going to move you into a deeper position, and you're going to pull the strings for the front ones. And he is just utter class. He makes Man City tick, like Fernandinho and behind him. But David Silva is going to be one of those players I'm going to miss when he stops playing football in the Premier League. It's a bit like Santi Cazorla. I've missed watching him. I'm going to miss watching David Silva, a little magician. But one player, would you say is underrated, perhaps, let's say, or certainly gets a hard time in the media, and that's Raheem Sterling. His finishing lets him down, of course, but he's got, you know, well into his 20s. He scored more than 20 goals this season. He's got his assists. He's scored some crucial goals for Man City as well. And Pep Guardiola clearly trusts him in the big games.
Yeah, he's a good player. Let's get one thing very, very straight here. If he played at West Ham, he'd be our best player. So comparatively, is he as good as De Bruyne or as good as Silva? Maybe he won't be. He cost 50 million quid from Liverpool, and a lot was expected of him. Don't forget, he played in that. He played in that team when he was just coming through with Suarez and Sturridge and Brendan Rodgers' team, which was very good, and he looked very good there. Has he pushed on from there? Well, I guess he has. If he's into double figures for goals, certainly. Maybe he gets a hard time because he's English, because that's what we do with English players, and not because they're English, but because they put on the Three Lions on the shirt and then they play crap, because of course. But and then they go and play well for their clubs. But I think that's more indicative. It's been going on for years, so it's more indicative of how the English national team are than actually the individual players themselves. He's a good player.
I think he's underrated. I think he gets so much stick for some reason. He's got a good footballing brain. He knows where to run and when to run. There is a bit of a problem that when he gets there, his finishing can sometimes let him down. However, he's still got over 20 goals this season. He's still producing. I just think he gets a hard time, and I'm unnecessarily a hard time as well. De Bruyne and David Silva must love playing with Raheem Sterling. They get the ball, they get their head up, they know who's running. He's running, he's on the move all the time. It must be impossible to mark for a defender, because 1 minute he's out on the right, then he's in the middle, then he's over on the left. You can't mark him, and if he's in the mood on Sunday, he's going to cause us huge problems with his pace and his movement. The last thing about City, their keeper. Ederson's decided, he said that he would like to score a goal before the end of the season. Do you now fear Man City getting a pen and watching their keeper jog 100 yards off the pitch to put the ball on the spot? I mean, that's just West Ham, isn't it?
Well, it would be West Ham, because it would show what a joke it is if they felt able to do that. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. I'm sure there's somebody in that team that's on a goal bonus or needs something or needs to reach a certain milestone. It would be, and I'm going to swear, it would be a piss take, actually, if they did that. Oh, look, West Ham there you go. Here comes the keeper running up the pitch to get Manchester City's 6th goal. Don't joke. They normally put a lot past us. Certainly last season, they do 4 and then 5 or something like that. I think was that right? Because I remember I was there doing the vlog, and I stopped doing the second vlog. Where actually, you know what? You've already got a 5-0 thrashing by Man City on the channel. You don't need another one. Forget it. Because we played them in the cup, maybe. Anyway, hopefully not. Hopefully the keeper doesn't score a goal from either open play or a set piece.
Yeah, to be honest, at the end of the day, they've got 4 games left. I think maybe 3, and they need 6 points to break the record in the Premier League. They've won the league. It's up to them what they do now. They've done their job. This is where it gets to that funny stage of the season that if something like that was to happen, and say we drew the game and the keeper came up and missed the pen, this is where the Southampton manager would probably go, Man City are being disrespectful. Well, actually get your own house in order. You won't have to worry about what Man City are doing for the penalties.
And if you'd have done your job properly, you'd still be Man City manager. So stop whinging about it, Hughesy.
They've won the title. This is their right. If their keeper wants to go up and take a pen, it's up to them at the end of the day. I won't see it as a piss take, because whether it's West Ham or their next game or the final fixture of the season, it could be against any of us. If they get a pen, I'm expecting their keeper to go take it, because in a way it's team spirit. In a way, if all the players, like you said, some of them probably are in milestones, they go, well, hang on a minute, it's a team effort. He's been fantastic this season. Let's get him up and let's have him. Let him have his moment. Let him have a goal as well. Let's all join in. But before we move on to West Ham, Manchester City have won their last 4 games against bottom 6 sides by at least 2 goals, and 3 of those they've scored at least 3 goals or more. While West Ham, in 3 of our last 4 games against top half opponents, we have lost by 3 goals. And that doesn't include the 4-1 hiding by Swansea City. One change that will be happening on Sunday is our goalkeeper. Joe Hart is obviously ineligible, so Adrian will come in. And that's the only, well, it's the only change in the squad. David Moyes has got the same squad. Nobody's coming back from injuries. So James Collins, Antonio, Byram, Reed, they're all still out. And we've got no new injuries to worry about. But Gonzo, hopefully, well, I'm speaking for you here, kind of, I think. There's going to be 1 or 2 changes to the first 11. What changes would you like to see from the side that faced Arsenal?
What do you mean, hopefully?
Well, I'm assuming you expect Fernandez and possibly Mario.
Oh, I thought you were tipping me the old wink. I thought we were into the old in the know, so to speak.
No,
fair enough. Yeah, I mean, he needs to. Old Ebenezer Moyes needs to do something a little bit less stingy, doesn't he? Really, he needs to do something exciting. I said something in one of the shows that we've done recently about giving the opposition something to think about, and if he is going to start playing a couple of young players, he's not going to I'm talking about Graziola here. Then Moyes needs to give him something to think about. He's not going to strangle the game. It doesn't work. It's not working. He is failing. There's no other way of cutting it. If anyone comes on here and tells me Moyes is succeeding, it's not. His tactics are failing. Try something different. Have a pop. Do you want the team?
Yeah, what team would you like
I'll tell you now. I'll tell you the team. Zabaleta, Kiate at centre-back, alongside Ogbonna, Cresswell at left back, central midfield, Noble and Declan Rice, and then a front 4 of Arnautovic, Lanzini, Carroll and Hernandez, and go for it. Have a pop. You're going to lose 4-0 anyway, so you might as well have a pop.
Well, I'll tell you something. That if I seen that formation, not only would I be shocked, I'd be scared, because that formation would end up 4-0 Man City. That you would give Pep Guardiola something to think about, but all he's going to be thinking about is how many are we going to score, and maybe our keeper can score without us getting a set piece. He might as well score up front with that formation. With the greatest respect, you're asking for trouble playing that against Man City. But sometimes attack is the best form of defence. The changes I would like to see is Lanzini and Hernandez come in. It's a bit obvious, but it's what we want to see. But I would be dropping 1 Mario and 2 Kiate. I'd be putting Fernandez. Either Fernandez goes centre midfield with Noble, or Fernandez goes right wing back and Zabaleta goes in beside Noble. Fernandez has done it well at right wing back previously. I just don't think Kiate can play against. If I was Pep Guardiola, I'd be saying to Silva and De Bruyne, one of you stand next to this guy, because he's not even going to mark you. Just stand next to him and step away from him and get the ball at your feet, and you're facing their defence, because that guy is just got no positional awareness whatsoever. He's our weak link. Put him in centre back's a good shout. Actually, swapping Kiate and Rice might work for my thing, but I would see David Moyes already hinted, if you like, unofficially, about putting Rice into centre midfield and buying I think that's wrong, actually. I think that's almost like well, you messed up last week, so I'm getting you out of there. Don't do that. Leave him in there. Because when we played at Etihad, Rice played centre back and he played very, very well then. But saying that, you've sort of answered this, but do you not think this is the game that Moyes' tactics suit? Because I thought we played well against Arsenal for 80 minutes anyway. I thought we played really well. And at the Etihad, when we got beat 2-1, we played really, really well. I remember doing the review with you, and we were actually upbeat about getting beat.
Yeah, I do remember it, but we played well against Arsenal. You spoke about earlier at the player, so let's say that midfield 3 is Fernandinho, Silva and De Bruyne. That's a very different midfield to what we played against Arsenal. So I know what you're saying, but I just can't see it. I cannot see it. I'll be gobsmacked. We'll do the review, and of course we'll be down the boats afterwards. If anyone wants to come and join us for that, we'll go on the boats afterwards. We'll do the review, and I'll be delighted if we've got a point. Then we'll have something to do. I just can't see the tactics working, him keeping a stranglehold on that team for that amount of time. I just can't see it.
I'm not saying we'll get something, but I think this is the game I think Moyes is actually suited to. I'm actually more confident of us putting in a good performance against City at home than I am against Stoke at home, because this is the games Moyes can set up for with his default formation, which seems to be the same formation for every single game we play, but it's more suited to this type of ones where we do sit back, we'll let De Bruyne and Silva have the ball at the halfway line and say, what are you going to do? There's no space in behind us because we're on the edge of our 18-yarder. Raheem Sterling can't run in there. We're not letting him, and if he does, there's no room. What are you going to do? It's what we did at the Etihad. And it can be hard. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking. And if you concede early, then your whole game plan needs to be torn up. And this is where you then have to attack and you just open yourself up completely. But for as long as you keep them out, it works a little bit. And I don't know. I think this is the type of stuff Moyes is suited to. How important is this game, though, Gonzo? Southampton, to put into context, Southampton are home to Bournemouth on Saturday, I believe. Southampton win. There's a 3-point gap between us and Southampton. So while it's Man City, and usually we would say this is bonus points, write it off. If we get anything brilliant, if not, so what? However, does the circumstances change the importance of this game?
Yeah, well, I do think it has become about Southampton there because they have played a game less, not than us, that Stoke City below them. So, I mean, one game less is usually significant. They've got 4 left. Stoke have 3 left. It's a very, very important game for us. It's huge. There's just no doubt about it. We can't keep leaving it until the next game to get something. You can't leave it to the last game with Sam Allardyce. If he's tail up, he'd been talking about him getting a new contract. So Leicester away, not great. Man United coming to us for all the stick, and I wasn't heaping praising them at the start of the show. They're highly likely to come back. We can't cherry pick. We're not good enough to cherry pick. So it's actually really important. Anything that we can get a point from is going to be vital. But Moyes can't keep picking and choosing where he is going to get that point. He can't keep highlighting it. At some point, he's going to have to go for it, or we will stay up because someone else is worse than us. But that's a funny one. That South Coast derby is a funny old fixture. I know that. I've lived down there, and they shouldn't need any G'ing up for it. They really shouldn't. But that can go either way.
That game, Southampton Bournemouth, is almost bigger for us than our own game, if that makes sense. If Southampton get beat, I'd say we can relax a little bit here. But Southampton win. I normally call these fixtures bonus points. I can't describe this game as bonus points anymore. But what I will say is I'll stick to my thing I always say, and that is if we somehow got relegated, it's not because we lost at home to Man City. It's not because of these ones. It's because of Stoke at home, for example, where we dropped the 2 points. Are you confident at all for this one then? I mean, the pressure's off us, but the problem is the pressure's no longer on City either because they've won the title. So there's no pressure on City. Does that make them dangerous? Or would you expect them to maybe take their foot off the gas? They're still wanting the record points. In their last game, they thumped Swansea 5-0.
No, I don't think it helps at all. I think because of the nature of the way they play, I think if you had maybe a gritty team, if you had a team, let's say someone like Mourinho, so they close down, they do this, then fine, they could be 5% less. But what last thing we almost want is City playing like they do on the training ground, because I've got a feeling Manchester City, the way they play on the training ground, is probably a little bit more tasty than they actually play on the pitch. I think they might be trying more stuff, more flamboyance. They are so good. It's very, very hard to be confident. It really is. What can I say? Is there anything to take confidence from? Have we got any evidence apart from the reverse fixture, which was... It wasn't unlucky because they did deserve to win. It was just, it went on. We defended so deep and so well for so long. We felt like we could have got something out of it. But it was, they were much better than us. Yeah,
I mean, the last fixture took a world-class pass to get through us and win the game. And I don't mind getting beat by those because at the end of the day, you can't do anything about it sometimes. You just have to admire the opposition at a time. You just have to say, fair play, De Bruyne, David Silva, world-class goal. But if that's what it takes to beat us, that's a compliment in a way to us.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You see Declan Rice make a mistake. You see Masuaku make a mistake. Joe Hart make a mistake. Obviously, they might move Rice out of it. Joe Hart's not playing. But just in the last 2 games, we see sort of 3 individual errors. So it's not going to just take a world-class pass to break us down. It might take a simple pass to break us down. They might just go down the wing and cross it over. It's I just think it's going to be very, very tough. Sorry to be a bit of doom monger in there.
Yeah, Moyes is going to have to decide what he's going to do. Is he going to do what you suggested, attack his best form of defence and give them something to think about? No, I don't think he will either. But he's got Arnautovic, who's bang on form right now. He is on fire. all we have to do is supply him with 3 chances and 1 will hit the back of the net. You can say the same about Hernandez. Given 3 chances, 1 will find the back of the net. But he's not going to play both. I'm quite convinced he's going to do, apart from the keeper, he's going to do 1 change, and that's Fernandez for Lanzini. I think we'll see Mario and Lanzini's sort of midfielders getting forward to attack and to support Arnautovic, and Hernandez will still be on the bench. I'm quite confident that's what he's going to do anyway. I'm not confident for this one, but I'm confident about Moyes' tactics. But my only worry is if we concede early on, because then that can turn into an absolute slaughter. Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. If they do training ground stuff, that's where the flicks and tricks will come out. That's where De Bruyne will be attempting 50-yard over the top passes to Mendy's feet on the left wing. That's where Sané and Mendy will say to each other, let's double up on Zabaleta. We know he's slow. We know he'll take a booking. When he's on a booking, let's keep going at him. And let's try and get him sent off, or he gets moved out of position and someone has to come here that doesn't want to be here. 1 the 2. That's our weak spot. Pep Guardiola's a good manager. He's going to be going for Zabaleta. Now it's almost prediction time. I think you're going to get a vibe from me and Gonzo so far as to what might be predicting. But on Twitter today, this week, I was asking for your predictions for our charity bet, which has been priced up at 16-1 with Betway. It's for Manchester City to win, Marko Arnautovic to score a goal in both halves of the game, can be for any side, and West Ham to get 2 or more cards, 16-1. So big price for the charity if that comes in. Also on Sunday, 11:30, our boats open. If you would like to join me, Gonzo, and a load of other Hamish Chat people for a beer and a burger, you can get your ticket. The link is in the description below as we speak. But Gonzo,
yes.
Are you going for 3, 4, or 5? What are you going for?
I'm actually going for 4, and I'm quite fearful because it's my son's first game. My son, for those of you that sort of follow me on Twitter, will know he started playing. So he started playing himself. He started playing football himself this season. He's not been to many games, and I'm a little bit fearful because every time he's seen a lot of thrashings. He really has. He's not a Jonah, but he's seen a lot of thrashings, and I'm a little bit fearful. It's just the calendar has sort of turned out, the fixture list, that he's come into this game. So 4-0. I'd love it to be different. I'm going to cover his eyes.
I'm going to say 3-1. Man City, obviously. But you guys can let us know what you think in the comments below. What team you would like to see line up at the London Stadium against Manchester City. What you think the score will be. And also, if you're going to join us on the boats, get your ticket. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And me and Gonzo will see you on Sunday night live from the boats. Well, not live. It's recorded. We'll see you from the boats on Sunday discussing the game and possibly admiring De Bruyne and David Silva, but hopefully celebrating the Moyes and his tactics.